Hi everyone, welcome to the Spotlight series. We are back again with yet another interesting guest. And my guest for today is Dr. Rima Dey from Jamshedpur. She's a scientist, a certified image consultant, and a soft skills trainer. So let's see if Rima Dey is already here, and we will start our conversation in a while. We'll just wait for some more people to join in and we'll get started. Hi,
Hello,
Rima.
ma'am. Hello, ma'am. A very good afternoon.
How are you
I'm
doing?
great. I'm great. Thank you for asking, ma'am. How are you, ma'am?
Perfectly fine. It's great to have you here on this platform.
Thank you for this opportunity, ma'am. I've been looking forward to meeting you, but not like this, but nevertheless.
Absolutely. And nowadays, everything is virtual. So, nonetheless, I mean, this opportunity is also a great opportunity. But yes, I mean, we were to meet on a virtual platform. So, what better than this?
Absolutely. Agree.
Yes. So, Rima, our audience would love to know that what was your life before you started with ICBI?
Sure, ma'am. Before ICBI, I was in a 9 to 5 job, going to job every day, and I was into hardcore technicalities, hardcore science. So I was like into lab experiments. Maybe someday I'll share a picture of my lab. You'll understand. It's all machines around me. That is what I have been working with. I was.
Rima, 1 second. I think somebody has just written that they can't hear anything. I just want to check if everybody can hear us. Can everyone hear us? If somebody can just confirm if we are audible. Is Rima also audible? Okay, fantastic. Yes, great. Yes, Rima, you may carry on.
Okay, thank you to everyone for the confirmation. And yes, as I was saying, I was a hardcore technical person working with machines around me. And I was helping out other students because I'd already finished my PhD, training them on how to work on the machines. I was making presentations to people on what work I have done and making proposals. And that was pretty much my work, and making papers for publications. And on the home front, like on weekends, I used to have a regular life, like 9 to 5 job. You look forward to weekends, right? That was what I also used to look forward to having my own time, and that was pretty much it. Nothing much, but that was it.
Fantastic. So tell me, Rima, I mean, this is something which everybody must be wondering. I mean, you are a scientist. I mean, you've done your PhD in engineering, and this is something which is like a very rare qualification. Although we do have
Yes.
scientists who have done a program with ICBI, who've done soft skills and image, in the past. But what really urged you to do image consulting and soft skills training with that kind of qualification? I mean, somebody who's a scientist would do image consulting and soft skills training. I mean, this is something which I am not really able to, understand. What was your
Yes, ma'am.
inspiration?
Thank you for that. Sure, ma'am. Sure, ma'am. So I have a little backstory there, ma'am. Back in 2008, if I remember right, I was doing my MTech. And that time, the ICBI advertisements used to come out in this Times newspaper. You know, there used to be a section called Career Graph, and there used to be the advertisements on the back page. There used to be covering the whole of the page. I remember that. And that was the first time I saw the advertisement about ICBI. And I was actually interested to pursue it. But being from a traditional Bengali family, which wants its children to go more on the education. Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So, being from the traditional Bengali family, which wants who want their children to be more educated, I knew my father won't support this. And so I didn't look into it any further. So I went ahead with my job. And then, as I was in my job working as a scientist, everybody there suggested that you should do a PhD. And my answer was, I would rather die than do a PhD. Okay, everybody knew that I would never be doing PhD. But then something happened in 2013. My brother used to stay with my family, and he moved to Bangalore for his MBA studies. And at the same time, my father was diagnosed with brain tumor. Now, I was funding my brother's studies as well. And so I thought, let me move closer to home as my brother was moving out. So what happened was I got my job at National Metallurgical Laboratory, where my husband was also located. He was in Jamshedpur. So that was something that worked out good for us. And the only condition they were willing to take me is that I'll have to do my PhD. So my priorities being my father and my brother that time, I moved in and finished my PhD. And while I was writing my thesis, when I had no such constraints as to what I would be doing next, I was asking myself, would I be doing this after 10 years also? And being inspired by Steve Jobs, who said that look into the mirror and ask yourself a question. Would you be doing this if this was the last day of your life? So I had been asking that myself many times. And I got the answer no. And then the question was, then what? I knew there was something related to communication that I wanted to do. How, when, what, I didn't know the details. So I started searching on internet, what could I do? And then ICBI happened. So that's how I came into ICBI, from being a scientist to being an image consultant.
Fantastic. This is such a inspiring story of yours. So
Thank
tell
you, ma'am.
me, Rima, I mean, what are some of the challenges that you had to face when you actually, finished your program?
Right. Ma'am, I would precisely say for me, it was two main challenges. The number one, it was me, myself. It was difficult for me to get out of my own head, you know, having that very strong, solid background of research for 10 years with very solid publications, which are in high impact factor journals. My mind was telling me that you can go anywhere from here. I mean, you have something secured you can apply for. You can grow there faster. Why would you want to go here? But my heart wasn't aligned with that. So it was a tussle between the two, and it was a very big decision that I had to take. So that was one thing I was struggling with for a very long time, because it needed courage for me to step into this. And the second thing I still actually struggle with is imposter syndrome, ma'am. To be honest, you know, the imposter syndrome shows up in some or the other form, that no matter what I do, that I'm not good enough. I won't be able to do this. It shows up in some or the
Rima,
other
you
form.
should not be having imposter syndrome. You are the last person who should go through this kind of syndrome.
I
I mean,
haven't,
why?
ma'am. Truly, I'm telling you. Yes, it keeps coming back in some or the other form. And that's one thing I deal with. And yes, I'm getting better at it. You know, it shows up in different formats. I'm getting better at identifying them and dealing with them. So those are the two challenges I had to start with. Like I was never active on LinkedIn. I was never active on Insta. I was not having my page on Facebook. So these are also things I learned. How to be active, how to put your story out there so that there is engagement. So these are also some things I learned. And of course, it has been a learning journey. It will always be a learning journey.
I see you very active on LinkedIn now.
Absolutely, ma'am. It's been recently that I've been having so much engagement and everything on LinkedIn. So yes, that's one thing that's picking up for me.
Yes, and you are grabbing a lot of attention on LinkedIn nowadays.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. You noticed? That means a
Yes,
bunch to me, ma'am.
absolutely, absolutely. And I think all the good things always get noticed. So I think keep up the good work, because good stories always come in light, always grab attention. So if you write
Thank you
well,
so
if
much.
you are articulating things well, it will always come in light.
Thank you so much, ma'am. That's really encouraging to know from you.
Yes, absolutely. So what kind of homework you had to do before you stepped into the market? Because now I
Uh,
believe you're doing quite a lot of work.
right. So, ma'am, three things I would say here. First of all, I started working before I quit my job and before I finished my course with ICBI in this context, in the context of soft skills and image consulting. So while I had my job 9 to 5, I started working on weekends and I started taking free sessions for students or through my contacts, whoever agreed to it.
Hmm.
And number two, I also started working through my company, which was National Metallurgical Laboratory. So they provided this skills training
Hmm.
to professors and students across India. So in the skills trainings, they had technical trainings as well as soft skills training. And I used to conduct the technical trainings, but I went and told them that I have this soft skills thing also going on. So can you let me do a couple of them? And they agreed to it. And the sessions went really well. Now, having done these two things, the third thing that happened is I understood how good I am, what needs to improve, what content has to go in, and also I was building my contacts. The trainings that were happening through CSIR laboratories, they involved lots of professors, they involved lots of students, and so I had built my contacts around. And once you deliver a good session, the people trust you, right? So I had started building that trust as well. So that was my homework and groundwork that I was doing gradually. And then when I had developed the confidence, yes, I can do it. That is when I decided to quit my job. This gave me the confidence. And then moving forward, it was the contacts that I had built up that I started writing to them, and I started getting work for every month.
We always advocate that you should do a lot of free work before you actually, take off in your image consulting and soft skills training business. Why do you think, or what rather would you say about this free or pro bono work before you actually take off in the field of image consulting and soft skills training?
I can say from my perspective, ma'am, because I had done so many free sessions, and
Why
every
is
time
it
I did a
important?
free,
Why is it
yes, ma'am,
important?
yes, ma'am. Yes. So, from my perspective, I had done so many free sessions. Every time I did a free session, I have made a file of every session. I have written
Hmm.
down what went right, what went wrong, and what could have improved.
Right.
And when I have this data, when I do my next session, I include all of that, right? So by the time when I'm doing so many free sessions, I have covered what needs to be covered in the content. I have optimized my whole content, and I have a fair idea of what my audience or target market is looking for. And so when I go and do a paid session, it's absolute value addition. People cannot raise question that you have missed out anything. They feel that they have got absolute value. So that is the reason it's important to do free work, because you get better, better and better.
Totally to the point. Absolutely bang on. So tell me, what kind of assignments have you undertaken, and who are your clients? I mean, you
Okay,
don't really
so
need to specify what kind of, you just need to tell us what kind of clients you deal with. You don't need to name them.
okay, surely, ma'am, surely. So the kind of clients that I deal with on one, I had kind of diverse clients ranging from leaders in big corporates to uh, woman, actually a teenage girl studying in school. That was my one-on-one clients. And coming back to institutions and organizations, I've conducted corporate sessions on topics mostly around time management, emotional intelligence, communication, public speaking, for people in institutions which are academic and in corporate as well. So I've worked with a couple of big corporates in the last 1 year, and institutions I've been with, working with IITs, and that's basically my client list as of now.
Brilliant. Tell us about your family, Rima. I mean, what have they got to say about your shift, this complete shift from being a
Yes,
PhD in engineering and now an image consultant and a soft skills
yes,
trainer? Is there a culture shock that they have got with this kind of a transition in
yes.
your profession, or they are absolutely okay with this decision of yours?
Yes, so that was a very interesting question. It's like I've lost my father now, but I'm very close to my mother, and she supports me in everything. So the first time I shared this with her, she being a housewife, although she is very, in a thought process, she is much higher than any of us. So she told me that, like, you are now 38 and you want to take this challenge at this age now because you already have something and you can build on that. So are you willing to take this challenge? That was her question. So I said yes. And she was a little bit disappointed initially that having studied so much, I'm making this shift. But then the thing is, there was no major protest that you can't do it. But more or less, she was supportive. And when it comes to my husband, he was neither supportive nor against it. It's like we follow the rule of live and let live. Okay. So he said he doesn't understand this. So he can't say how it will go because he is a person who is a working salaried person, right? He has never been an entrepreneur. So he said he doesn't understand this. And what he does is he supports me, when I'm conducting my sessions and everything, there's no time, I'm working on weekends. So he supports me. He takes care of my our son. So that way I've been lucky. I didn't have any major protests going on. And now because I am doing the work right, I'm getting so much visibility. So people are like understanding, yeah, that this is also a profession that could be taken forward. What happens is people don't understand that how, when they don't understand something, we tend to fear it, right? So, and they can't give opinions. Like my husband, when he said that I can't tell you what to do, what not to do. So I felt bad initially. Why isn't he saying? And then I realized he can't. He has never worked in this field. So I have to understand it. So
Right.
that way I have a supportive family that way.
Absolutely. And how old is your son?
My son is 5 years old, ma'am.
Okay. All right. So tell me, Rima, I have a question for you now. Why do people invest in themselves? Is it because of competition or because they want to become a better version of themselves?
Uh, Ma'am, to that, I would answer that like whatever I've been reading, whatever been going through after stepping into this role, I understand that as a human, as a whole world, we are at the brink of an evolutionary leap. And we will be tapping into human potential in a way that we haven't done in the last decade. So having said that, there will be jobs that will be coming up in the next 10 years. We don't even know now what will they be. So in that case, to be invested in themselves, they have to upskill themselves. And to do this, they have to do that because they have to add value in the marketplace and contribute, right? Now, to add value in the marketplace, they have to be either competitive or they have to keep evolving. Your question was whether is it because of competition or is it because of
value addition in themselves?
Yes. So it's both, my answer is. Initially, it may be competition. People are thinking that, oh, I have to catch up. So it will be competition. But gradually, over a period of time, it has to be your better version of yourself. Because when you become a better version of yourself, you are automatically evolving. And when you're evolving, you are becoming competitive. That's what is my understanding.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I totally agree with you, because if you become a better version of yourself, you automatically become competitive. So you also gain a lot of confidence.
Right.
So that also, I mean, in all aspects, you become a better version of yourself.
Yes, ma'am. Totally, totally.
So true. Yes, absolutely. So I would like you to share one experience of yours which is absolutely close to your heart.
Experience with work, you're asking, ma'am? It's
Yes.
related to work?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So once I finished, the first couple of persons I got touch with, and one of the first persons was one of my colleague. She was working with me in General Electric, and now she is in a senior leadership position in a software company at Bangalore. So I got in touch with her to tell her that this is what I am shifting to. And I wanted to share my profile with her if there is any relevant work or any session that I could conduct. And what she told me is, you know what, Rima, I feel you have been God sent to me, because I don't know who needs it, but I need it right now. So what happened is she had joined the senior leadership position, and along with her had joined a person from IIM Ahmedabad, one of her colleagues, right? And she was having difficulty navigating this person because he was not allowing her to be in the right frame, in the right, it was not allowing the spotlight to be on her when it comes to the leadership. And she was not sure how to navigate this person. So we sat down, we wrote what were the difficulties, what are the inhibitions she is having in her own mind. We went through a couple of sessions, and by the end of the first month, she sent me a message that, I'm super happy because I could deal with that person in a way that the spotlight today fell on me, and I have been able to express myself to the. So she was super happy. And honestly, I never thought I would be able to do it for her because I thought she was super smarter than me. But then I realized that it's about asking the right questions. So that was one of the that remains close.
So tell me, Rima, when you started initially, I mean, when you did your first assignment, were you nervous?
Of course, ma'am, I was nervous. Why? So it's like, it's like lights, camera, action on. So it's only me who knows that I am nervous. It happens in every session, right at the beginning. It happens.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, I can.
Okay,
Am
fantastic.
I not audible?
Yeah, I missed the last part, so I was not able to hear you in the end.
Okay, I was just asking, am I not audible?
Yeah, now you're audible.
Okay, okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. So being a student, what are some of the best moments that you recall at ICBI?
Okay. Okay. I would say, being a student, I totally loved the image classes, ma'am. I had no idea I would enjoy the image classes so much. Although I'm inclined towards the soft
Soft
skills,
skills.
but as a student, I love the image classes. I love the image assignments, I finished the assignments as soon as the class was over. And if I remember right, I got merit in most of those assignments. And the other thing that happened is, due to COVID, I was an online student even before COVID. And due to COVID, we were transferred into a platform where learners were there from across the globe, I would say, right? And there you get to know that the learners are so diverse with so different experiences. There are no boundaries. So that was just one amazing thing I loved about the class. And I made some great friends. We are still connected, and we have a group of our own, a WhatsApp group where all the learners are connected. So yes, the learning has been good when actually the transfer happened to this bigger platform where many learners came in.
In fact, this is what we realized, that when we shifted to online after the offline classes, we realized that, I mean, there are so many people who get an opportunity to meet, because there are people who come who are across the globe. There are so many possibilities of, people networking with each other. So you are able to expand your horizons by, networking, by meeting, by interacting, and you make such wonderful friends, by coming together on an online platform. So that's a great
Absolutely
opportunity where
agree.
you get to meet, get to interact with so many people, which is not possible on the offline platform.
Absolutely agree, ma'am.
Yeah. So that is like a far more better option than, doing it on the in the offline mode.
I was always online, so I would always prefer online. I was never offline. And it doesn't matter it's offline or online. As long as we are able to capture the essence of it, it doesn't matter.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, Rima, how do you stay relevant in today's time? What's your mantra of keeping yourself updated?
Ma'am, it's continuously reading, continuously researching, because that's how we get to know what's new, what's trending. And it's also doing upskilling, doing courses time to time. And, just expanding your perspective on everything that I want to get my niche in. So expanding my perspective as much as I can. And I think that alone is sufficient to keep one relevant in this times.
And in terms of assignments, you do more online assignments or you do more offline assignments?
Ma'am, I have been doing more of online assignments.
Okay, more webinars and those kind of
Yes,
assignments.
because the time that I had started was this COVID period, right? And offlines were not at all happening. So whatever I did was mostly online, and couple of them, like yesterday, I had been invited to Ranchi University for a women's session. Now that it's opening up, people are coming forward and having offline sessions. So I had an offline session there, but largely it has been online sessions. And also, I would want to add here, post COVID, people are open to online sessions. So whatever assignments that I'm getting right now, uh, they are saying that value can also be delivered online, right? So whatever assignments I'm getting, it's all online. People are willing to pay for it.
Correct. Absolutely. I think the trend has changed now completely. Even though there is an option of doing things offline, people still prefer the online mode more than the offline mode.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
I would do that. I
great.
would do that.
So, Rima, what is your growth strategy? I mean, what social media platforms do you prefer to grow your or expand your business? I mean, I've definitely seen your LinkedIn profile, but what other platforms do you or you wish to explore to grow your business?
Yes, ma'am. So when I started, I didn't
And
know
what
about
has really
LinkedIn. I
worked for
didn't know.
you?
Sure, sure. So when I started, I didn't know about LinkedIn. I didn't know about Instagram. So I was trying to understand how these platforms operate. And now I have understood about LinkedIn a little bit better. And that is the reason I'm trying to put up my stories on LinkedIn and trying to gain traction over there. So once I master one platform, I would be shifting to another, or I would be doing it parallelly. On Instagram, I'm not that active, but on LinkedIn, I'm very active. And LinkedIn has been one platform that has given me a lot of traction and work as well. But in addition, I have been sending lot of cold emails, ma'am, of whether they're replying me or not. And if I send 100 emails, I have got 5 replies or 6 replies, but that has fetched me the work I wanted. So that has been one growth strategy. And right now it's about creating visibility, ma'am, as much visibility as I can create. And moving forward, I look forward to creating my own digital courses because right now I'm in the process of understanding my target audience. Although it's mostly students now and professionals, early career professionals. And I want to make a digital course that caters only to their need. So that's the growth strategy I have in mind right now. So it's mostly visibility right now, creating visibility, and that's what I have been doing.
Yeah, and I think you're doing a great job. So continue with that.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
All right. So one last question, Rima, that what is your message for all those people who are aspiring to become image consultants and soft skills trainers?
Sure, ma'am. I would have 3 messages for them. One is be willing to succeed, but be more willing to fail. You know, we are going to fail many times, and that will lead us to success. So do that, follow that regularly, and have an abundant mindset. Because if you think there is no work, there is no work. But if you think there is work, there is actually lots of work. So have that abundant mindset and not a fixed mindset. And the last I would say is, this is from my own personal experience, that I always wanted to have that bubble of certainty around me, you know, ki if I do this, I'll get this. If I do this, I'm getting my salary. So step out of that. Trust the unknown that is out there. Explore the unknown, you know. The path will evolve by its own. Trust that. Those are the 3 things I would like to say to the budding image consultants. And also 2 things. If you're a soft skills trainer, then the world, the way it is evolving in the next 10 years, the way it would be changing, people would need more soft skills trainers, number 1. And number 2, for image consultants, sustainability is a huge thing that has come and that is going to stay. So image consultants are one who can contribute to that in a big way.
And I think a lot of people need to understand that only when you burst the bubble of certainty is when you take the first step towards, you know, becoming an entrepreneur.
Absolutely.
Because in that comfort zone, you can never ever do anything. You never grow in that comfort zone. Only when you step out, you will be able to see more growth and you will be able to succeed as an entrepreneur.
Absolutely, ma'am. That has been my one key takeaway in the last 1 year. Had you been speaking to me before this, I don't think this is not the person you would meet, you know. I wasn't this like this, but it's been now 1 year of conducting sessions. I wouldn't have been speaking like this. It's all because
No, Rima, don't worry. I was in the same shoe. I mean, a few years ago, I was in the same shoe because I was an employee and I have also stepped out of the comfort zone to become an entrepreneur. So I also understand that mindset. Taking salary every month and then, you know, following the same cycle. I mean, you follow that pattern for so many years, and then once you break the pattern is only when your mind opens and a lot of ideas come in. So yes, we all follow that rut, but once you break that pattern is when you come out of that comfort zone, and then you get a lot of ideas. And once you get those ideas is you are, that is the time when you are able to do some unique things in life.
Absolutely. Can't agree less. At least my 1 year of journey says the same thing for me.
Absolutely. Only when you come out of the rat race is when you decide that you don't want to be a rat anymore, and that is when you do something different. Right?
Surely, ma'am. Surely, ma'am. Any day.
Absolutely. So thank you so much, Rima. This was a great conversation with you. I was looking forward to meeting you and interacting with you, but this was absolutely amazing. So all the very best for your future endeavors. And whenever possible, we will definitely meet in person. And all the very best for your business venture, your plans, your programs, your online programs that you're planning to get into. And wish you all the success that you want, and any support that you want. We are always there. You know that.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to be with you on this spotlight. And I definitely look forward to meeting you in person now that the world is opening up.
Sure, sure. And I do plan to come to Jamshedpur very soon, just for your information.
Wow. So I'm definitely meeting.
Yes, yes,
I
I
definitely
plan
look
to. So
forward to
this
it,
year
ma'am.
there is
Yeah.
a plan to visit Jamshedpur. So that
Okay.
is going to happen very soon.
That's a great
So I
news. I'm
will keep you
going with.
posted.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Definitely.
I'll keep you posted about that.
Thank you once
Okay.
again, ma'am, for
Thank you so
having me.
much.
Yes.
Thank you all the viewers who were a part of this Insta live. I'll see you next week once again. Thank you, Rima, for this interaction, and all the very best to all of you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you,
All
everyone.
right. Thank you so much. See you all again.